tonight's tutorial of learning blink without delay, I have my constant set of part of my code. As you can see, wrote constant integer, and I defined pins 13, 12, and 11 to be titled red, yellow, and green. Looking over at my breadboard, I have my red, yellow, and green as used to be left, middle, and right. And another word for writing left or red or whatever I want to call pin 13, I can also just write LED built in because the LED that's built into the Arduino is LED is pin 13. So I wrote that right here, LED built in. I can replace red with LED built in if I really want to. And then this is part of my code that does not change, and this is the part of my code that does change. So I have each integer LED state set to low, which is all in blue, and I have unsigned long previous millis set equal to 0. Long is a data type and it holds a lot of information, and it fills up very quickly because we are counting the time in milliseconds. And previous millis is, or previous whatever I titled it as, but previous millis is a variable that stores the last time the LED was updated. Going to my constant long interval, I set each one to a different amount of time, 333 milliseconds, 500 milliseconds, and 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. Interval is the amount of time, and technically I don't really need to write constant. The code would work if I just excluded that. And then going to the part of the code that only runs once, I have my pin mode for each LED, each pin, red, yellow, and green, set to output. And then for the void loop part of the code that runs constantly, I have unsigned long current millis is equal to millis. And also right before that, let me just go back to this output part. That means that I want to apply voltage to the pins. So for this, millis is a built-in Arduino function that returns the elapsed time since the sketch began. And long is basically a way of ensuring that I only am receiving positive values, and unsigned is a qualifier, just like constant up here at the beginning of the code. So it qualifies my data, I believe. And once I hit my reset button, millis starts at 0, and it'll keep counting like for the life of the sketch, and will eventually roll over on like day 1 billion. So going to my if-else statements, I wrote digital write for each bottom, like at the end of each if-else statement, I have digital write right here for the red LED, then I have another one, digital write for the yellow LED, and the last one is for the green LED. So I have, so if the LED state is low, as in if the LED is off, every 333 milliseconds it will check that, and then if it's off, then I turn it on, and then I ignore this part of the code. But if I check to see if the LED state is off and it is on, then I ignore this high part and then I turn it off, as in low. And at some YouTube video, I saw that I can save space on if-else statement and write LED state is equal to exclamation point LED state. Got that from YouTube, haven't actually tried it out in the code. And then this line up above it, if current millis minus the previous millis is greater than or equal to the interval, then I do previous millis is equal to current millis, and then I go through the if-else statements for each LED, and I want to make sure I have the correct number of brackets in each one, and finish that off with 2, and then 2 more, and then this is what my code looks like on applied. So I have my red LED checking to see every 333 milliseconds. This one checks every 500 milliseconds, and this one checks every 1000 milliseconds to be 1 second. And it's the same setup as my other